Alright, good morning everyone. Welcome back to Dark Spot Traders Hub. Apologies, today we are a bit late. But we are here now. Let's get started. Father, we thank you for this morning. Thank you that we're back here for another day, another session, another analysis, a session where we get to see some good insights that we can use in the market to make money. We give you praise that you're giving us good profits today. Thank you for yesterday's profits, the insights that you gave us, the signals that you gave us. We know that even today is going to be bigger and better than yesterday. We love you. We give you praise. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen and amen. All right. Good morning, Felix. I can see you already around, and those who are already around, please let us know that you're available. Good morning to you, and probably you can let us know where you're watching us from. Otherwise, without any further ado, we start with Crash 500 as usual. And if it is your first time here, please go ahead and subscribe. If you've ever subscribed, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. It helps us to be recognized by the YouTube algorithm. So I can see Helen. Good morning, Helen. Good morning, Desmond. Welcome, guys. Welcome. So Crash 500. Let's go. Let's go. Crash 500. All right. So we saw yesterday. Yeah, we made this money yesterday. So let me show it to you here. Those who are on the VIP, and I believe even those who were here yesterday before I closed the stream. I think you saw me enter here. So this was a trade right there yesterday. This was a trade from there and there and there. So I had two entries. This one I had put a tight TP right there. They took it, but stop loss. But this one I had not put the stop loss. So that is the money I made yesterday on Crash 500. Hit the TP there and moved out. Yeah, and then now let's look at today. Let's look at today. What is happening in the world of Crash 500? So it disrespected that level. Well, now we see that it sort of gave us a breakout right there. Of course, this here was a change of character right there. When it broke this level, it was a change of character. It went all the way up to give us a high, but then on coming back, it broke structure again. So it gave us a break of structure down below, meaning this was just a retest all the way to that level, all the way to here, all the way to that. But if you look at that, it was coming probably to that fair value gap, but it did not reach it properly. So it came back to that level and then went back to give us a break of structure. So now we currently have a break of structure. This candle hasn't closed, but I want to remind you that also we are seeing that down here we are oversold. According to H4 on the CCI, we are oversold, meaning we can see consolidations very soon, or we may see actually a reversal. So for now, I would love to take off these and that also. But before I take it, wait a minute. Before I take it, okay. This is an expanding descending triangle, so it is meant to continue selling. Okay. So if it is meant to continue selling, let's delete that. Let's go to H4. This is a break of structure right here. It's a break of structure. What is this level? This is a level I told you according to daily time frame and weekly that we want price to reach it. Once it reaches it, this will be giving us a signal of an inverted heads and shoulder. You remember that? So we are looking for an inverted heads and shoulder right here. So if you can put your limit orders right on this level, which is a daily kind of thing. You can see it. There's a fair value gap within there, but I didn't mark it. If you want to mark it, it's right there. There's a fair value gap right there, but I want it to come all the way here. That is when it will be matching with the left shoulder. So if you can have your limit orders waiting here, but I rather have you wait than rush into doing that, as we keep on monitoring this as it goes. So for now, we want price to come here, so it means sales are still in control. Whereas we are seeing, according to daily time frame, H1 time frame, looking at CCI, it only went to touch on the retracement and went back into sales. And now we have a break of structure, but then we are oversold, meaning according to CCI, on H1 we need buys to take us right up there. Are we going to see that? Let's go to M15. M15, it is consolidating, meaning there's still a lot that is going on right here. Please let me know if my sound is bad. I need to know that so that I can fix it immediately. I listened, apologies, yesterday's sound, I listened to it later in the night, and it was not good. There's some interference that was coming in the background, and it was not good. So apologies on that. Please let me know if there's any issues right now, so that I can fix it immediately. Okay, Helen says the sound is good. Thank you, Helen. All right, so that is what I'm seeing on Crash 500. So we are sort of having a descending triangle right here. If we look at on M15, we look at this imbalance left back in the market, but also we look at the order block that where these orders, where a lot of sell orders began from there. So price can easily look for that and then get us back into sales. This can be a fake breakout to later continue. So before we reach where we want this price to reach, where we've already marked here to give us an indication of an inverted heads and shoulder, we are likely to see price pray around that level, which is likely to keep praying around here until it gets enough momentum to break through and continue all the way to this level. So for now, I'm not having any business with this asset for now, unless if I see a fake breakout and then I can enter, or if I can see price break through that level to continue with sales, because this is a descending triangle on M15. So right about now, no business with it. We are oversold according to M15. On, if you look at CCI, same thing. On H4, we are oversold right there on H4 according to CCI. So, and already even H1, This was just like a pullback if you look at where it reacted from. But remember, we don't entirely depend on indicators. We look at price action. Price action tells us we had a break of structure here, and that is something. So we may end up seeing some consolidation here and maybe a fake breakout all the way up there before we can get into some continuation of sales. So for now, please hold on before you go on for the sales. All right, let's now head over to Boom 1000. So Boom 1000, what happened? Let's start from H1. So yesterday we knew this, we wanted actually that. Okay, let's first drag it here. Yesterday we knew this was the pattern that we're having, so we wanted a pullback to that level and probably get us into sales to reach this other this was on H4, fair value gap on H4 or H1. Let's see, fair value gap on H1, yes. So that never happened. That pullback to reach there never happened, but it kept on selling. Just gave us a pullback to that level. So I can delete this for now, and you easily see where it gave us a pullback from. That was the order block. Gave us a pullback to that order block and not the other one up there, so we can take that out. So pull back to that order block and then continuation of sales. Hit the level that we wanted, it reached the level that we wanted, this, then played around it until it got enough momentum to break through and continue with sales. So let's now get to today. Let's look at what is happening today. So broke that fair value gap, retested, and then continued with the sell. As we speak, we see that price grabbed liquidity on that level. That is actually now came to that support level. That was an order block, so it came to the support. So we see currently price has reacted on that support. So we can now delete everything right here. Even this no longer necessary. It was disrespected, so it was never respected. So we can have this right there and just wait. All right, so according to H4, we wanted price to get down here, but it is now reacting to this support on H1, and clearly, as you see on H4, we need buys. We have already been oversold. If you look at that is oversold level. Now this was like a retest. We are now looking at buys coming in. Remember, those who remember, I had given this insight some time back. Price to reach here, then give us a pullback right on that order block, and then we get to see a retest. It has happened, but it has not reached this order block. It has happened on this H1 order block. It has gone back to that, and now it has come back again. So we are meant to see buys continue from here. Let's go to daily time frame. Yeah, clearly we are not going to see price really break out. We are likely not to see price breakout to reach this level that we want here. So I can delete it for now. Delete this, delete that, delete that. All we know that we need buys. It has given us already, it has reacted to that order block. Now it has pushed price back. We should be getting enough momentum to break through that. If that becomes a strong resistance, then we will end up seeing some consolidation going on right here until we break through and continue with sales. If I go to daily, now remember, I told you when you see something like this, you see, this is a falling wedge. Most of the times we know falling wedges when it is falling like this, you need buys like that. But this is something different. This is showing it is created when price is actually continuing with sells. So this should be giving us that right there. That's the reason why I had this order block right there. I had this target right there. That is the reason why. But it has not reached it. So, and we are not market movers, so we can't force it to reach it. All we can is now follow what we already have according to the time frames, and then we can move on. So delete all that. Let's go back to H4, and now we wait for a signal to actually look for buys. According to M15, a mean buys, this was a change of character right here, and pullback, meaning confirming that. But now price is trying to give us a pullback. At H4, we are looking for buys. M15, we are looking for buys. So H1, we may not follow it up right now. We may have to follow what we're seeing on H4 and M15. So right about now, it's where I bring out my fib to understand what is happening. Okay, so I see another block here. I see a fair value gap that was not touched. So price is likely to come right there, and then we see buys later. So for now, anticipation right here, and then buys later. So that is it. I'm not adding anything more here on this very asset. Remember, we have bounced off that support on H4 and H1, so it's going to be hard to break this level. So in as much as we want price to continue with sales to reach here, price is likely to get back up there and then come down again. All right, I think that is clear enough for us. Let's now head over to another asset, which is Boom 500. So Boom 500, yesterday I told you it was a no-go because it was having a low momentum, but the moment it broke that support, it went straight to where we knew we wanted price to reach, and that is that order block. Is it an order block? It is a weekly order block, which gives us now those who love swing trader, the swing traders can actually now look at swinging this for some good time, good days. But for you to do that, you need a reversal probably on a daily time frame, and then you can swing it all the way. But even if you don't do that, H1 has already given you a reversal for us who are intraday traders, so we can still know that we still see that we are in a reversal already. We've gotten a reversal signal. Now it's a matter of seeing a pullback to actually enter this. Yeah, so how are we going to do that? Go to M15, let's see. Okay, the entry was there, so it's giving us higher highs, higher low, higher highs, higher low. So where is it probably going to stop from? All right, I see it is on it has grabbed that liquidity on fair value gap right about there. It is trying to respond to that fair value gap. So are we going to see it come down again, or it's going to break it? Let's go back to M15, see what other point of interest. All right, so we see this order block. It's where the sell momentum started from, right about there, and that is a clear level. But according to M15, we are now overbought. If you look at CCI right there, we are overbought, meaning anything here can happen and we come back down below. And I'll be anticipating price to probably come here Will it be something on H1? Yeah, probably there. So this is my anticipation. Is it going to be matching with Fib? Let's understand that. I think so. It is on 61.8. This as my low, that as my high, so we are good to go. This is going to be the anticipation, and then we continue with the buys according to H1. So get back to M15 and let's wait for that entry to sell this asset. We're going to sell it here. Once we reach here, we're going to buy it according to H1. I think that is very okay for us to work with that. It's going to be good for us to work with what we're seeing currently. So let's wait and see. Okay, a new H4 candle has just started, so I'm going to anticipate another kind of a spike, probably to reach that level or half of that, and then we can come in with the sells. Let's wait and see if that is going to happen. All right, enough of Boom 500. Let's head over to Boom, to Volatility 25S. Vol 25S. Volatility 25 1S. All right. Adema also says sound is okay. Thank you. Thank you, Desmond. All right. So right about now, yesterday. Now this is where this gave us some confusion, and actually I made a loss here. So this was our analysis. We all know that we were looking for this move right here and to give us that, at least to get back up there. So what happened is when it reacted around here, let me just bring it to you here. When it reacted around here, we immediately entered buys, I mean. Here, right here, we entered buys here. So we entered buys here, it kept playing around here, looked for that liquidity for us, the early buyers. So it took us out. I've given this signal to the VIP. So it took us out, and then it came, grabbed liquidity on what was it, an H1 fair value gap? Yes, came and grabbed liquidity on that fair value gap. I had overseen it. I had overlooked this level because it was already mitigated here. Price decided to come back to it, and that's when I realized we are coming again with the buys. So I again entered the buys here, right there. So it was a tricky day right there. I again entered the buys right there. Again, it took me out. Surprisingly, with that week, after taking me out, look at what happened. But I couldn't live with a loss, so I waited. When it had settled, I made my entries there, and of course they were a bit multiple, so I took my profits right up there and called it a day. That's how I recovered that kind of a loss. Of course, I didn't share it again. It was late night when I made that. I didn't share this signal when I made that entry, because price was now back above our 10 MA, which was one thing to know that it's going to come back all the way to that. So that is how I took advantage of that and made that money yesterday. Of course, after reaching that, immediately we see that the sales began. Now, right here, this can be our change of character right here. Can it? Yeah, I think we can use that, because this is our higher high, but then this has already given us a change of character. So pullback there, we can still call this as our change of character right there. Yeah, so if that is our change of character, then H4, what are we seeing? H4, this is where we will see our change of character from. In fact, not really. We saw our change of character right here on H4. Yeah, that is when we saw our change of character. So this was like a retest back to that order block, back to this order block on H4. So we can take out this, that, and this, delete all that. We wanted sales immediately from here. Those who remember, I made this analysis some time back. So if I go to daily, we are now likely not to see this kind of a move that we wanted, because we had this. Those who remember, we had this as a rising, sort of rising wedge right there, sort of a rising wedge. So we wanted this move right here to be the one we see when price breaks out, right there. That's why we have that level right there. But then daily is oversold. H4 is, on the other hand, is also overbought. So daily is overbought, H4 is overbought, H1 is overbought, M15 is oversold, surprisingly. But then let's look at weekly. Weekly, this was a retest. Then we need to come with sells. Remember here, the reason why we are seeing all that we are overbought is because of that resistance right up there. I deleted it, but you can see it, so I don't need it. So that's where the challenge is coming in. So for now, we're going to look for sales because it's the majority, it's what we are seeing. So if we go to H1, where we are oversold, overbought I mean, now we look at a support right there, and that's the reason why M15 is oversold. So M15 currently is showing us that it is oversold, but then we don't have anything to show that we can actually enter some buys according to M15. So all we need is price to break this and continue with sales, or to see a consolidation right here and probably get back into buys, because according to the structure that we have, we should be looking for buys to take us right there. According to the structure that we have, according to this structure right there, we should be looking for that. We should be looking for the continuation of buys, not sells. But currently, if you look at daily time frame, price is below our 10 MA, H4 price is below our 10 MA, H1 price is below our 10 MA. So we are in for sales. I don't know whether it's going to come back here. We're not market movers. We can only follow what these market movers are doing. So we can now wait and see what happens here. Right now, this is a no-go for me. Don't do anything until we see either a reversal on M15 to look for a short buy right there, or a breakout down here on this support and continue with sales. All right, enough of that. Let's head over to V75. V75, what happened? That was a fake breakout, and then buys came in. What were we looking for? We were looking for buys from this level. Yeah, I remember entering a sell during the session. So we made money on this asset. That sell to reach this level. The sell to reach this level. So it's right here. Yeah, that is when I entered that sell, because that I knew that was a weak support So price kept playing. My stop loss was here. Those who remember, my stop loss was on that line exactly there. So kept playing. It almost took me out and then came down, kept playing until it got enough momentum to break through, came, hit my target, immediately went back into buys, but then got enough momentum after retesting that support and went all the way to give us a fake breakout down below. All right, so let's delete all that, and now let's come to H1. Let's come to H1, delete that. So H1, we saw that order block was not respected. It actually came to this other one right there. Yeah, right there, that is what we see. So that's where price came back to. So after doing that, a lot, some heavy momentum or some big buy momentum started without even a reversal signal. That is how surprising this was. So I couldn't, of course we knew that we wanted buys when price if price reacted to that. This is where I wanted buys from, right there. That's why you see this on that level there, but gave a fake breaker and the buy started. But I never had an entry at all, so I did not enter the buys. So it went back all the way to that fair value gap, which is now currently our support. Yeah, according to H1 we are looking for sales, but H4 we still need buys. So how are we going to play with this? Daily time frame, however, we are looking for sales to reach this weekly order block. Weird, right? So now that we know that, I see a trend line. I see a trend line right about there. When I see that, I try to make sense of it, and I'm going to try to make sense of it with the current data that I have, and that is this. Let's start. Yeah, high, low, high, low, high. All right, so we are talking now business. So for now, delete this, I don't need it. This is important right here. What else? Okay, that pulled up. Okay, so now we are in the sell, and this clearly tells us that we are going to continue with buys. Why? Because of this move. That move right there, it's what we are going to see. So it means price is going to give us a short kind of sell. Yeah, I'm going to anticipate a short kind of sell within this fair value gap right there. Yeah, it's supposed to be down here. Let me go to H1. I see if I have an opportunity. Okay, I think I have. So it means I can take that to H1 and look for this fair value gap right there, and that's where we'll anticipate price to come back to and then push us all the way into the buys, and hopefully this time to give us a breakout and continue with buys right there. Remember, we want price to reach there. So according to daily, if we reach there, we should be coming with sells. If we reach there, this should be right here like that. So now that we have that, let's wait and see what happens. Are we ready to sell this? According to H4, we need buys, but we know that H1 we need sales now. So are we having a reversal on M15? No. So we wait for a reversal signal on M15 to enter this sell that will bring us right here, So for now, this is going to be a no-go for me. This is what I'm going to be anticipating from this fair value gap to get into there and then look for the buys to reach that level. All right, so enough of this. Let's now head over to leave it on M15, this one, as we wait for this kind of move, and we will leave it on M15 and then go to jump 50. Please, if it is your first time, don't forget to subscribe, and of course don't always forget to give us a thumbs up. It helps us to be identified by the YouTube algorithm. All right, jump 50. Wow, this is weird. So we were looking for, let's see, H1. Okay, H1, this is yesterday. So yesterday we had that, and we said if price fails to break that level, then we will see sells. But clearly, I had told you already that with such a move, it had already given us a target. From there, we knew that we were going to continue with buys. So that was a target hit. So we were anticipating some sells here. Why? Because we were even overbought right there. We were overbought right there. So that's why we are looking for some sells. But I don't know where the momentum came from. Price had enough momentum to break through and give us a break of structure. So that was a break of structure, retest to the break of structure. This was supposed to be our buy entry again, right there when it reacted there. But this was late night, almost I think like 1 or midnight. Let's see. 10, 11, midnight. Yeah, at midnight, that's where we could have made another buy entry from, having retested the breaker block right there. So enough of that. Let's delete everything right here. Let's look at today. Let's look at today. This, okay, it's not that important. This can also go now. This, okay, I can have it later. So go to H4. This was disrespected, so I can take it out. I need this, I need that. All right, that is where the buy momentum, big buy momentum started from, right here after this kind of lagging. So what else? Delete this for now, and this we will look at it later. So now we have a break of structure according to daily time frame, meaning we are likely not to see price come back all the way just like we wanted. We are likely not to see that. Weird. All right, price has reached that resistance. Let's look at H4 on the other end and look at this last OB right there. All right, so come back again. Now we see that we are overbought according to H4. We are overbought according to H4. According to daily time frame, we've reached a retracement level, but even here we had reached it. No, according to that we had not reached, but now we have reached and surpassed it a bit. So meaning we are going to see some reversal. According to H1, we've started to see that price is below our 10 MA, but is it enough? Not really. According to M15, we have already seen that, so we are likely to first see some consolidation happen. So for now, I'm likely not to trade this for some good time, for like a day or two, until it is clear until it is clear for us to enter on H1 or H4. So this is the deal here. Look for that. It can even give you a fake breakout to try to grab some liquidity right above there. Yeah, that is how these guys know. They know that a lot of guys are looking for sales here. So all those who enter sales here, they can be trapped by the manipulation, taking stop losses right above there. So that's why I'm saying I have to wait right here, because the sales are not yet ready. But these are market movers. They can easily push market to wherever they want because they have big money. So they can still push market in as much, whether we have a signal to enter or not. For them, they can push market wherever they want. So because they have the money. So for now, I have no business with this. I'm just going to wait and see if I'm going to see some pull back like that, back and forth, until we gain some momentum to actually sell this. Until we gain some momentum to actually sell this asset all the way down. This can happen right here. It can happen here. So there's a lot of that we have levels where this kind of pull back and forth it can happen from. So we have to wait. We have to wait. In fact, according to H1, it's likely to happen around these levels right about there. So let's wait and see how this is going to work out. So this one right here, we are likely to break it today. We are likely to break it today. We are likely to break it today. We are likely to break it and come here, and then we can anticipate this pullback later. Yeah, we are likely to break this one here and reach about this level and then get back into the buys according to H1. So for now, I have no business with jump 50. I can't focus on it. Let me go to jump 25. Jump 25. Jump 25. So jump 25, what happened yesterday? Okay, leave it on M15. So we had two levels. The one I wanted actually did not happen, but we had this one. I told you price is likely to react to this and then we get into buys, but also we saw this order block where this big buy momentum started from, and I told you we are likely to see also price. I told you like price can easily even retest all the way back to that order block and then we get into buys. But this never happened. But that doesn't mean it won't happen. It will happen. So price reacted to this other one, this one right here. Yeah, it was right here. This was according to M5, I believe. Yeah, this was an order block on M5. So price reacted to that several times. This was supposed to be our entry for the buy right there and take us. I had made an early entry where I had put us, where is it? Okay, it's on the other account. So I had made an early entry just about here, and it took me out because I had a tight TP, a tight SL, and I was taken out. And later on, after reacting to this level, buys went, hit the target, then came back and went back. Why that was like our second TP. But then look at that fake breakout all the way back to the same level where the buys started from. Same level. Yeah, and then that was a good buy that we should have gotten into. So this was what time? Let's see. That was about 18, 19, 20, around 8 p.m. around 8 p.m. Yeah, this was it. By that time I was not even in the charts. I was at church, so I could not have gotten that trade. So around 8, that's when that move came in. All right, I think that's it for yesterday. Let's now look at today. Do we need this? No, we can take it out. We can, okay, delete just that. We needed this. So get back to H1, remove history. So that happened. I can delete this for now. So right about now, we have reached retracement on CCI according to H1, and price has reacted to that fair value gap. If you can see that, that was the reaction of the fair value gap right there. That is a big fair value gap on H1, and price has reacted to it. But then we sort of having a we're sort of having a retest. Looking at where price is currently, that is also another fair value gap on M15. That is a fair value gap on M15. So we have the one on H4 and M15. I mean H1 and M15. This was a change of character here. Price went, tested, the sell came in, then went back all the way to the order block where the sell momentum started from, and then we began another sell momentum. So what is happening? We've reached a retracement level on M15. This was a break of structure, lower low, then went back to test. Now we had a break of structure right here, weird one, but now I see prices going back. So we can now anticipate that it is going back to get enough momentum to break this sort of support level. So where could that be? Let's see. That is a high, that is a low, so we are likely to see this come around this fair value gap, which is at 38.2 and 50. So that is what is happening. I wait for my sells from there. Let me first delete this limit order that I had put yesterday, and now let me wait for buys, sells right there. I'm going to wait for sells right there, and these sells are going to bring me where I will only take that. Let's delete that. Get back to H4. H4, we are looking for sells, so that's for sure. We wanted buys from this level. Remember that, according to daily time frame, and of course according to price action. So delete that. So I need price to give us a pullback here. According to daily, we will get back into buys later, but for now H4 and H1 we are looking for sell. Actually H4 we are looking for sales, so we need this to come around. All right, so now we wait. This is just a matter of waiting. I'm going to sell this asset according to M15 and H1. Yeah, I'm going to sell this. I'm going to sell this. We are going to sell it. We need it to do this, and then we can come in with sells. We can come in with sells. All right, now this is a weird formation it's giving, so don't be surprised. Now that I've seen it, don't be surprised if price goes all the way up like that. Don't be surprised if price goes all the way up there and then it comes around. Don't be surprised. But at the end of the day, this is what will happen. When this consolidation is done, we will look for this move. That is the move that we will look for. So it can be today or tomorrow. All you need to know is that the buys are going to continue. So right about here we have our support right there. So it tells me that I need to delete this. It's no longer necessary because price reacted to that level just like we wanted. So now I'm done with this asset. I need to see this, and then I can come in with the sells. Or if it gives me an entry, who am I to refuse to enter the buys? And clearly M5 is already giving us that, so I need a pullback, then I can enter a buy. I will be entering a buy. So let's wait. When you see a pullback on M5, please make that entry for the buy. We are likely to get to that level, just like we've seen this M15 kind of structure that we have. All right, let's go to jump 10 and we call it a day. Jump 10. So jump 10, what happened? We wanted what? What did we want? We wanted first go to M15, pull back there, then we continue with sales. We wanted a pullback here, then we get into sales, then later we get into buys. So what happened? That happened, then came down into sales, reacted here, then gave us a break of structure going to M15. So let's go to H1. This was a no-go for us. We didn't make any business with it, so we can delete that now. Delete that. That's a fair value gap on H1. This is not needed. So clearly here we see that price gave us a fake breakout on that daily order block. That is a fake breakout, and now price is trying to get back into buys, but we can only anticipate continuation of sales by trying to understand the retracement level, and that is none other than that order block. So price is looking for that probably, and then head back into sales, probably with enough momentum to break through this daily order block and then continue with sales. So delete this fib, delete that fib. Here we never left any. This is a break of structure right here according to daily time frame, but immediately we have a pullback. This is a support, strong support actually. So what do? Go to H4, look at, we need sales, but in as much as we need sales, just because we are on the support, if we get any reversal signal, it means everything change right here. You have to understand that. In as much as we are looking for sales on the daily time frame and H4, when we get to see a reversal on this support, everything will change. Why? Because we follow price action, and clearly if you look on the weekly, there's nothing that we are looking for down here. According to weekly time frame, there's nothing we are looking for right here. Weekly, this was mitigated, this is not really something where we are currently. So that's the reason why I'm saying, in as much as we want sales, if we get a reversal, don't get comfortable following the trend line, because price action is key, not the trend lines. The indicators, they just here to just confirm to you what you need to know. So don't get comfortable and be rigid with indicators. This is another option for us right there. If we get a reversal signal right here, so for now, all I can do is, I'm seeing something to do with sort of like a channel. Let's see that. So low high. Okay, so let's wait and see what is happening here. Let's wait and see. This move started from here to reach there, so one can say this is what we are likely to see. Now that price has reacted right there, meaning it will be coming all the way back to this resistance, which is what, a weekly resistance? Yeah, it's a weekly resistance. So go back to daily. Let's have this on the other side as an option. So for now, we have these two options. Lines are many, you forgive me about that, but let me just drag this to here so that it moves out of the way. So this pullback here, it's likely to happen. Without a doubt, it's likely to happen. So we need to understand it a bit more. Why is price reacting there? Go to M15. Let's look at M15. Okay, M15, we are overbought, meaning we are going to see a pullback. H1, we have low momentum, so this is just going to keep consolidating. So I have no business with this asset at all. I'm going to just leave it and wait for when it gives me something that I can work with. But according to M15, I have these two levels. These can be significant levels if it keeps playing around them. So for now, I go to the recap. Let's do the recap and we call it a day. It has been a long one. Let's now get into the recap. Please, if you want to trade jump 10, just wait for a reversal signal, of which we haven't gotten at all. So you need to wait for a clean reversal signal for you to buy this asset, or for you to sell when it breaks this previous lower low on H4 or H1. So for now, this is going to be a no-go for me. Let's do the recap and we call it a day. All right, so we started with crash 500, and we said it is having a descending triangle, so it is consolidating. So you can anticipate a fake pullback there only later to give you sells, because descending triangles, normally you're looking for sells. So that's what we can anticipate for now. So for now, this is a no-go for me until I see a pullback here or a continuation with sells. But the general trend, we are looking for sells. That is the general trend. Boom 1000. Okay, never gave us a pullback there, but it is happening here to continue with sells, and then we can later get into buys. So for now, we wait. You can't enter sells unless if you want to risk it and have a short, like 15-minute candle over sell and then move out. Boom 1000, it has done what we wanted right there. All we need is another candle to start and see if we can make our sells, or see if we will see a continuation or a breakout there, a break of structure there to continue with buys. But the general trend is going to be buys. V25S. All right, so now we are talking. So we have a reversal signal which we need to confirm when price makes a pullback. So for now, we wait for the pullback to confirm the reversal, and then you can enter your buys. V75 pullback there, then we continue with sales. So what do we do? I think if you can actually make your entries on V75, although it's gonna be a bit tricky. Yeah, the way its momentum is, so I would rather wait. So, but we're going to sell it within that, and then we can buy it later. So for now, let's jump to jump 50. Jump 50, we said we wait for that. We can either see consolidation within here, back and forth, these two levels, or we can even see a breakout right here to come here and then go back up. So whatever comes in first, follow that. Jump 25, yeah, I told you that it's gonna continue, so it may not respect this fair value gap. It's likely to go all the way to that support, resistance trend line, or to that support level, and then it comes back with a sell. So when it reaches that level, please don't hesitate to enter sales, because it is within this kind of structure on H1 and M15, and that means it will be bringing us to oversold level when it reaches that level. All right, lastly is jump 10. Yeah, jump 10, we are looking at not trading it, but it's likely to keep playing within here and there for now as it is consolidating. So wait for it. When it comes here, you can enter buys, or as long as you have a signal for it. But we are overbought on M15, and we are oversold on H1, meaning we can only follow what H4 and M15 are giving, which is sells. So you can look for sells, not buys right now, because the general trend seems to be following sells. Of course, the general trend are sells because we've been seeing lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs. So you can wait for that. Then yesterday we talked about, we even analyzed gold, and I told you we were looking for sells, and clearly that's what happened. So this was gold yesterday. I told you when price reacts to that level, you enter your sells. Yesterday, those who were here, you remember I also analyzed gold, and I told you if price reacts to that fair value gap, you immediately enter your sells, and you can see sales came here, then retested a bit, then at the end of the day it came, hit the first TP, hit the second TP, and even gave us a fake breakout down below that order block. And later we can see today it has actually given us a clear break of structure right there, a clear break of structure today. But then as we are speaking, we have a change of character as we speak right there on M15. Why are we having that? Because we are oversold. So delete everything right here. We don't need anymore. We don't need. My anticipation was when price reaches here, this level, I don't know, you can see the line. So let's see why I had put that line there. Oh yes, it is this order block where the buy momentum started from. So it is the order block. So the buys have started from this. I had two levels that price can react to, this level and this other level. So price has reacted to this other order block. There's that and there's this. So it has reacted to this, but we know that price can easily go all the way to this also. So because we are not market movers, we can't tell. We can only follow and follow what is currently happening. So I can easily delete everything right there, and now we can even wait for this. We can even wait for this can even wait for this. So for now, go back to M15. We are in the buys, but buys to where? So weird one. That's why I say it's likely to get back down here. So these buys on M15 are going to be short-lived from what I see. From what I see, they're going to be short-lived. So it's likely to get all the way back to sells and come for this order block, because that's where the buy momentum started from. So those who trade gold, you can watch out that and look for your entries carefully. So for now, wait for some sells right here, right there. The sells are gonna come to look for this move. All right, enough of this. Let's call it a day. Please, those who want to join the mentorship program, you are welcome. I've started to receive those who want to register for July, our mentorship program, but also those who want to join the Signals platform July. You can still use the number there. Signals are at $15 per month. The mentorship program VIP is at $300, and then ordinary classes at $110, where I can have as many as I can, but for VIP I only work with one person at a go. All right, let me wish you guys a good day. Happy trading. See you tomorrow same time, 10:30 to 11:30. Bye bye.